Hey folks, what's up? Lex here, and today I'm going to show you how I ship wrestling figures. I just sold this wrestling figure here, Rey Mysterio. This is actually one of my favorite figures that I have, but again, I'm paring down my figure collection, so I figured, you know what? It's time to get rid of some, and this was just on the chopping block. But I wanted to make this video because I think it's important to ship these with care. A lot of people buying these and spending good money on them are collectors, and you want to make sure that it gets there without any damage. So the first thing that I do is I take a poly bag here. This is a clear see-through poly bag, has the hazard warning here on one side. These are 11 by 14, I believe. I'll take it, the figure, and slide it in there so that the front is not on the warning side. Warning is on the back. Just as a presentation thing, I want them to open it up and have a clear view of the figure before they open the bag. Then we're going to take one of my thank you cards here. See if I can get that to autofocus. There we go. Just says thank you so much for your support. A little bit of info, let them know that this is a family business, and then my user link on the back and all that good stuff. So there's a big debate on whether thank you cards are necessary or not. I don't think they're necessary. I just personally like to put that in there because I really do thank everybody who makes a purchase from my store, no matter the amount. So we're going to slide this in right here on the front, just make sure it doesn't get caught on anything there. Once we're done with that, we're going to take the adhesive strip off here. And I'm not going to pull it so tight that it has no room to move in there, because I don't want to bend the upper card here. So I'm just going to kind of fold this down like that. And that way it has a little bit of wiggle room if it needs to move in there. And this is what it looks like before it goes into the box. I feel like this is just a nicer presentation to whoever's buying the figure. Alright, so now we need the box. And this is a 13 by 10 by 4, but it actually measures 14 by 11 by 5 usually. I get this off of Amazon. Right now we're going to get my tape gun here out of the drawer. Just going to tape the bottom there and then use the bottom of the gun to make sure the tape is pressed down. Now that we have our box here, we're going to take a piece of paper. This is packing paper. You can get this at Walmart for like 10 bucks. A huge pack of it for like 10 bucks. I'm going to put that down in there. And the reason I'm going to put that down in there is because when the customer opens the box, when they cut the box open, I want there to be some sort of barrier, some layer of protection between the figure box and the actual knife or whatever they're going to use to open it. So right now we're going to put our box to the side, and we've got bubble wrap. We're going to take our figure, lay out our bubble wrap. There we go. And we're going to lay the figure face down, fold that bubble wrap over, take some tape, and just tape it that way. So that's another great thing about having the poly bag, is I can use this tape to tape the bubble wrap directly to the figure so that it is properly protected. We're going to continue to fold this over just like that, as much as we can. We're going to take our tape again. It's important not to wrap the bubble wrap too tight around the figure. You want it snug, but you don't want it to completely, you know, crush the figure. This has enough slack to be able to move the figure if I push on it, but if I go like that, it's not going to move. So that's exactly what we want there. So after that, we're going to bring our box back into the fold. We're going to place our figure into the box. We're going to make sure that it's surrounded by the paper. And we're also going to make sure that top card is not being pushed up. So top card's all the way down. The next thing we're going to do is extremely important. In fact, it might be the most important thing that I do here. I'm going to take a piece of our paper, another square of our wrapping paper, and I'm going to tear it in half. Okay. I'm going to put one half to the side, and I'm going to ball this half up. And I'm going to place this ball in between the figure and the box where the space is created by the top of the card. Just like that. So now we have something that's going to make sure the figure stays in place. Let me get that in the frame, sorry about that. This piece of paper is going to make sure that this stays in place, that the card is not going to bump against the box in transit and bend. It is in there, it's stuck in there, but it's not so much force that it's going to damage the top of the figure box here. We're going to finish it off by taking that other half and placing it right over the figure, and there we have it. So this should be enough to make sure it passes the shake test. And I'll tell you exactly what the shake test is here in a minute. I'm going to fold this down like that. Get our tape gun. Again, push it down with the bottom of the tape gun handle. Now, I like to do, you don't have to do this if you're doing it. Everything's personal preference. Again, this is just what I do. But I like to add a couple more strips of tape to the side here. Just to kind of secure that first piece of tape. Make sure it doesn't just come off in transit. Do it again to the bottom. Okay, so now that's all taped up. Now here's another step that I'm going to do because it is wet and rainy. Just to show you, if you have the poly bag, if you put the figure in the poly bag, you don't really have to worry about like water getting in, because that figure is going to be protected even if water does get in. But if you wanted to, you could take a piece of tape and you could cover any other openings the box has, just like that. It's personal preference. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. That poly bag is going to keep that figure safe though. This is our packaged figure, nice and uniform. Do the shake test. That thing is stuck in there. It is not moving at all. That's exactly what I want. Every time I pack something, every time I ship something, I want to make sure that it is not moving in that package, because if it moves, if it has the chance to move, it has the chance to be damaged. At least a greater chance to be damaged. So keep that in mind. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to weigh our package. Got this zeroed out. Put it on top here. And it weighs 1 pound, 6 ounces. So it's just enough to miss first class shipping, which is a bummer, but I expected that anyway. Usually I ship these figures priority because it's not much more than parcel select, and it's covered, and it usually gets there faster, the customer's happy, so that's what I do because I offer free shipping. I just noticed something though, and this is a good thing to point out. You want to inspect your box after you're done here, because there is a small hole, and I know it's kind of hard to see. There we go. There's a small hole on this box. leaving it vulnerable to water, possibly water damage. Quick fix for that, you take your tape gun, get a small piece of tape. This is probably bigger than I needed it, and we just want to cover that hole, and there we go. It is sealed tight, not going to give us any trouble. And now we just need to print the label and all that kind of stuff, but I'm not going to show you that because sensitive information on that kind of stuff. I just wanted to show you how I pack a wrestling figure. All my customers have been happy with the way that I pack these. It's extremely important to take care with collectibles because the buyers, rightfully so, are extremely picky when it comes to the shape of what they're buying. You always want whatever you're selling to get there in the same shape that it was listed, and so this kind of ensures that that's going to happen. As a collector myself, I know I certainly appreciate when a collectible is packaged properly. I can't tell you how many times I've bought a figure from Amazon and it shows up and the card is absolutely crushed, and it's a big bummer. It makes you angry. You just want to return, and that's the last thing that you want as a seller on eBay, especially if you're a smaller seller who is trying to work up and get things going. You do not want the customer to leave bad feedback. So this will ensure that you have a better shot of getting positive feedback from the buyer. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching. Until next time, this is Lex, signing off.